Hi everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we're taking all those beautiful stained glass flowers and leaves from the last tutorial and turning them into finished mosaic piece. Whether you want to make it a tray, a trivet, or a wall decoration, this method is a great way to bring everything together in a clean, organized, and secure way. This time, instead of removing and gluing individual pieces onto the substrate, I'm going to show you one of my favorite mosaic techniques, something that feels a little like a secret hack. I think you'll find it really useful, and by the end of this video, you'll see how it all comes together. Let's get started with step 1 and I'll walk you through how it works. To begin with this technique, I'm using a piece of clear contact paper that's just a little larger than my printed design. I laid it directly over the paper copy of the design with the sticky side facing up and taped down all four corners to keep it securely in place. This method is great for temporarily preserving your layout. Tables get bound, pieces shift, but with contact paper holding everything in place, your mosaic stays safe and steady until it's ready to be transferred. If you would like to use the same floral design I'm working with, I've added a link in the description below. You'll receive 3 printable pages, one with the full round design which is around 11 by 11 inches in case you can print on a larger format, and 2 letter-sized pages with half of the design on each so you can print them at home and tape them together just like I did. Before we prepare the substrate, we first need to build the mosaic on top of the contact paper, starting with cutting all the stained glass flowers just like I showed you on the previous video. If you haven't seen that one yet, feel free to check it out. There's a link in the description and at the top of the screen. Once your glass pieces are ready, you can start placing each one onto the sticky side of the contact paper, carefully following your printed design underneath. This part can be done in several sessions. It's one of the reasons I love this method. Since the contact paper holds everything in place, there is no risk of your layout shifting between work sessions. The adhesive stays sticky for days, so you can take your time and enjoy the process. In addition to the stained glass flowers and leaves, I'll also be adding some other elements to my design like ball chain for the flower center and for some stems and millefiori beads. Little details like this can add a lot of character to your piece. Now that all the glass pieces are in place on the contact paper, it's time to prepare the substrate, the surface where everything will be transferred. For this project, I'm using a round wooden tray, but the same prep method works for other bases like a trivet board or a tabletop made on wood. First, I use a utility knife to lightly score the surface in a crisscross pattern. This gives the adhesive something to grip onto and helps create a stronger bond between the tray and the mosaic. Next, I lightly sand the surface to remove any rough spots or coating that might prevent proper adhesion. After wiping away any dust, I paint the entire area with white acrylic paint. Now, why white? Because I'm using transparent and translucent stained glass in my design. If the background were dark, the color wouldn't show as clearly. A white base helps the glass to stay bright, vibrant, and true to color, especially important when you have spent time choosing beautiful shades and texture. Once the paint is dry, the tray is ready for the next step, transferring the mosaic from the contact paper to the surface. And this is the fun part where we are so close to seeing it all come together. And this is how it goes. First, I cut a second piece of clear contact paper, but this time I trim it a little closer to the size of the tray. That's because I don't want this top layer to stick to the bottom contact paper that is still taped down. I place the sticky side facing down directly onto the mosaic design. I press firmly with the fingers to make sure every single piece, even the tiniest one, are fully adhered to the new top layer. Once everything feels secure, I carefully flip the entire design upside down and then slowly peel off the original contact paper, the one that was on the bottom. Do this gently so you don't lose any pieces. And ta-da! We've got all our tesserae locked into position, ready to be glued onto the tray. Before adding the adhesive, I do a quick check to make sure everything fits properly on the substrate. If it looks good, I move on to gluing. I'm using Well Bond for this step. I apply it evenly across the tray, making sure I don't miss any spots. Then I place the contact paper with my mosaic right on top of the glue and press gently with my fingers to make sure every piece is flat and in full contact with the adhesive. To finish, I let it dry overnight. I also place some weight on top. This helps keep the wooden tray from warping due to the moisture in the glue and ensures that every element stays in place as it sets. Once the adhesive is dry, I remove the top layer of the contact paper slowly and clean some excess glue that might be on top of the glass. Then this piece is ready for grouting. I start by covering the tray's edges to protect them, then put on gloves and a face mask because grouting can be messy and safety first. For this project, I'm using black grout to really make the colors pop. I mix about 4 spoonfuls of grout with water, adding it slowly until it reaches a peanut butter-like consistency. A wash bottle works great for controlling the water. Let the mix rest, or in other words, slake, for about 5 to 10 minutes before using it. I apply the grout using a spatula, pressing it into the spaces between the glass. You can also use a plastic card or your hands. Then I remove the excess and gently wipe the surface with a dry paper towel or even the plastic card that I used before. After letting it dry for about 30 minutes, I buff the tiles with a clean soft cloth to remove any haze, and I repeat this the next day to be sure no residue is left. And we are almost done. Since this is a functional piece, I always seal the grout to protect it from moisture and stains. It also helps preserve the color, especially with dark grout. I use a grout sealant like the one linked in the description. Just follow the directions. Usually, it's as simple as brushing it on, letting it sit briefly, and wiping off any excess. It's a quick step that keeps your mosaic looking great for the long run. And that's it. Our mosaic tray is complete. I hope this video gave you some helpful tips and inspire you to try the technique in your own projects. If you enjoy it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.